All right. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, William. What's going on, brother? Good morning, everybody else. So far today, just took one trade. Took gold buys here as the 15-minute candle was breaking the high. Notice this is the 6:45 a.m. Eastern Time 15-minute candle, so it's the second 15-minute candle and the overall 30-minute candle. This was honestly kind of a premature buy, but as you can see, originally, I had, sells, target for sells down here. I had buys above here with the MP special, and basically the MP special is a setup that I love to trade. It's basically when a high is created, the high is now a resistance is formed at the high, a support is formed, and then the high is retested. So that's one of my favorite setups to trade, one of the easiest setups to trade in my opinion. And obviously it's a in trend trade, and so it's got a very high probability because price is extremely bullish at this point, and so it makes the most sense to just trade with the trend. So basically what happened is, price came down, or price created this high here, price came down, formed a level of support here, and I was basically anticipating price to retest these highs here. So obviously the probability didn't really play out in our favor, didn't completely test the highs there, and essentially what happened was, like I said, this was kind of a premature trade because the 30-minute candle had not closed bullish yet. However, since we had a really strong 15-minute candle close at a support level, I was anticipating that if the next 15-minute candle breaks the high, then that's going to give us a really strong confirmation that this candle will close bullish of some sort. Notice as the second 15-minute candle was breaking the high, the 30-minute candle's highs were being broken as well from the previous candle here. So just kind of like told the story all the way across as far as why the buy should make sense. The hourly candle was rejecting super hard, just showing that the bullish momentum was coming into play, and that as you can see, price was going to start creating higher highs and higher lows, which it did, even though the next hourly candle did close bearish. So that was kind of like why I took the trade. Price did retrace here, so I had a partial stop loss set at minus 16 pips. The total stop loss originally was let me see if I can adjust this. The total stop loss originally was below the current 30-minute candle that I was trading, and it was below the previous 15-minute candle. So this was the 15-minute candle I was trading, stops below the previous 15-minute candle, and since I was trading the second half of the 30-minute candle, stops were below the current 30-minute candle. So price did retrace. The original stop loss was like 32 pips or so. Price did retrace. I had a partial stop loss at minus 16 pips, so 90% of the trade was closed at minus 16 pips. And then as you can see, I just let the rest run, as I was pretty sure that it was going to end up playing out. Price came up at plus 10 pips in profit on the move. On the remainder of the position that I had a auto break-even trigger, so stop loss was put to entry, and then before I secured anything, before TP was hit, retraced to my entry where I was stopped out at entry there. So that was kind of like how I entered, and how I managed risk and how I exited the trade. Total risk was 32.6 pips. Like I said, the original stop loss was 32.6 pips, and then at the end of it, total loss minus 8.2 pips. So not a bad trade. Was a loss overall, so that's not obviously what I want to do, but at the end of the day, managed risk, everything made sense. Really, probability just didn't play out in my favor, and just kind of adding to my my losing streak here, which it is what it is. It's okay, it's part of the process. But yeah, so now at this point, we can change up the analysis a little bit. It does look like that price is going to potentially retrace and correct this move here, but ultimately, you know, need price to break and close below this 1677 area, in my opinion. And now we're just kind of starting to range here on 30 minutes. So this is going to be a no trade zone moving forward. But real quick, I just want to get this back to the way it was. Okay, cool. And so now, you know, for gold, we're essentially looking at buys above this area with a closure, buys above 1673 with a closure, and then we're looking at sells below 1667 with a closure at this point. And then so target for sells would basically be to correct this move down to 1655, and let's see where target for buys would be. Yeah, so definitely a big enough range here, it looks like, to trade. Yep, 55 pips. Plenty of range to trade here. So at this point, you know, this is kind of what we're looking at here for gold. You know, we're looking at buys above 1673 and then sells below 1667, both with a closure. We want to see candle close before we look to execute on any of that. And then for GJ here, I think this analysis is still valid. Sells below with the closure, below 170, 143. Now, obviously, we've done that a couple of times. Price has gone up and rejected, you know, so it really just kind of comes down to what the lower time frame could look like as far as entry. And so what the lower time frame looks like as far as entry, you know, we can see that 15-minute is ranging pretty well here. So we can essentially just adjust this support level based on the 15 minutes. So based on, you know, the 15-minute and 30-minute closing below 170.079 in about 7 minutes here. So if we can get a closure below there, I definitely think it makes sense to continue this move here. And then as far as buys on the flip side, you know, we have a resistance / support level right here. So buys above with a closure above 170, 273 makes the most sense in my opinion right now. But we might even get that MP special play out here, where the high was created, comes down, creates a level of support, and then goes to retest the highs. So we'll just kind of have to see if candles are going to play out that way at this moment. But that's kind of what we're looking at, or what I'm looking at for now. 1 hour does seem to be bearish. 4 hour currently is bearish. However, previous candle was bullish, previous daily candle bullish. So overall bias on GJ, you know, makes the most sense to be bullish just based on, you know, the higher time frame structure. But as far as lower time frame structure, it looks like we could get some sort of correction, or, you know, the old MP special. Yeah, so at this point, just chilling. So with that said, go ahead and pay the fee while you're here. We got 10 viewers currently, only 1 like, so go ahead and like this stream. If you're not already subscribed, please make sure to subscribe, turn on them post notifications so you don't miss future streams here. And yeah, at this point, we're just kind of gonna let it play out. Foo FS, thank you, man. Thank you. And good morning. just chilling at this point. Fu FS, where you located at? Gotta be literally the other side of the world if it's nighttime. Malaysia, amazing. It's on my bucket list to go to Malaysia. It looks amazingly beautiful over there. Yeah, no problem, William. No problem at all. I appreciate you showing the love. Trying to continue to grow the channel here. Continue to provide some value. Grow the family that we got there in Telegram. Anybody catch any Asian session trades? I haven't been trading Asian session the last 2 weeks or so, and I've been enjoying not trading Asian session. But I have been watching it. I have been hopping on one of my buddy's streams at that time. Gold sales look good, but SL is going to be hard. Yeah, for sure. Just kind of have to see where it closes at this point. So, I mean, currently, yeah, 48, 47 pips, you know, based on 30-minute. Yeah, and based on 15-minute, you know, this is probably going to be a little bit, well, about the same stop loss. So, yeah, I mean, ideally, like, what would be the best situation here for gold sells would be this 15-minute to close the way it is, the next 15-minute to do like a little break and retest situation. So this 15-minute to close the way it is, the next 15-minute to close like weak bullish below this zone, like leaving a wick below this zone, and then the next 15-minute candle enter as it breaks the low, and you can trail stop loss based on the previous candle's high. That should give a better stop loss. But based on, you know, the current time here, we're coming into 8:30 a.m. Eastern time, we could see a large amount of volume here. Yeah, and I was looking at this too, looking at this as an impulse entry to continue bearish, or an impulse entry idea to continue bearish, just based on a strong resistance being formed here. And the reason that we can say this is a strong resistance is because we had bullish candle and then strong bearish candle that engulfed the previous bullish candle. So definitely you know, showing strong sells here. And I mean, just because of that, you know, like I was thinking like, okay, cool, if this candle, you know, wicks up and breaks the low, you could essentially take an enter here. Even though there's a support right here, you know, we can anticipate that because of the time, volume's going to break that support and continue to move bearish. But that's obviously going to be a counter trend trade, just because daily and 4 hour are both in a bullish trend. Pips pay rent. You wouldn't take a current 30-minute stop loss for the next 30-minute. Probably not. Just because, I mean, it would depend. It would depend on which part of the 15-minute candle it is. I would probably take a current 30-minute candle stop loss on the next candle if it's the second half of the 15-minute candle. Because that's going to give us a really strong confirmation that, you know, if price goes up and creates a wick in the first half of the candle and goes to break the low in the second half of the candle, then that's going to give us a very strong confirmation that that the damn current 30-minute candle high isn't going to be broken, if you know what I mean. Yeah, same rule, yeah. Yeah, and I mean, like, me personally, like, I always only risk 1%. I always only risk 1%. So, no matter what the stop loss is, no matter how big or small the stop loss is, it's always going to be a total of 1% risk. So the lot size just automatically adjusts based on the stop loss, size. So with that said, like, I'm starting to not really care about how big the stop loss is, as long as, like, there's a way that I can cut losses before that stop loss. So obviously 50 pip stop loss is pretty ridiculous, but if you're risking 1%, then who cares? It's still 1% is 1%. The only difference is that the profits that you see at 10 pips, 20 pips, when you start securing, is going to be a little bit lower than what you typically see. But at the end of the day, if your losses are always being managed well, if you're always risking 1% and ultimately losing less, then your wins are always going to be bigger than that. But yeah, broke the low in the first, like, seconds of this candle, and obviously it's a very high probability that the current candle high will be broken, as it's already done a couple of times and it's doing again now. So in this situation, stop loss above the previous 30-minute candle is going to definitely make the most sense. Yeah, exactly. It could also be a fake out. Could also be a fake out, just like you said, and because the overall, like, momentum is definitely favoring the buys, the bullish momentum, it would definitely play a part in the story too, and probably give us another one of these big strong rejection 1 hour candles if it's going to be a fake out. Another thing is it just, like, barely broke the low. So if you're looking at your broker, the spread might have not have actually broken at this point. The spread might have never broken. And that's another thing that I've been considering lately, is only taking entries as the spread breaks the candle high or low, not just the candle breaking the high or low on TradingView. Because if you notice, like, sometimes, like, the candle will break the high or low, but the spread actually won't push through. And if the spread is breaking the candle's high or low, then that's a strong break, in my opinion. So it's just higher probability that it's going to play out in your favor. You might lose 1 to 2 pips on the entry, but I'm willing to lose 1 to 2 pips on the entry for a stronger confirmation that price is going to go in my direction. Yeah, so I mean, at this point, sells on GJ are invalidated. I was kind of thinking, like, we've seen this a lot, where these are like exhaustion candles, the bodies are getting smaller and smaller and smaller, strong rejections to the downside are screaming buys. So price broke the low, it's now breaking the high. This should definitely continue to at least the top of this current range here, 170, 273. Not a tradable range though, so nothing to execute on here, but it could set up for potential buys to fill the rest of this range above 170 to 80 or so. Yeah, so that's kind of what I think as of this point. Yeah, and so pips pay rent to the gold sell idea. At this point, like, if you were to take an entry, stops above the previous 30-minute candle high, yes, they would be large, but that's going to be the most valid stop. Number one, it's coming back into the range at this point, so it's kind of invalidating the move and kind of confirming the fake out. But number two, due to the time of the 30-minute candle, 25 minutes, there's a lot of time left in this candle. So this candle could go up, create a top wick here, it could go all the way up here and still respect the previous candle high and drive down. So That's why I think like stops in the first half of the candle have to be above the previous candle, above or below the previous candle. And if it's the second half, then it's a very high probability that it's not going to come back and break its own high. And if it does, it's probably going to close against you. So it's going to invalidate the trade anyways. So it's okay if you get stopped out. But yeah, I like this this GBPJPY move right here. I've taken a lot of impulse entries in the trend, in a current trend movement with this candle structure. You know, as price comes down, candles start to get weaker, boom, breaks the candle while respecting the low. This candle should definitely close bullish. It should definitely close bullish. Yeah, in respect to the previous hour low, weak hourly candles. So definitely if the hourly highs are broken, definitely a high probability that we're gonna complete this range. 4 hour, yeah, this is just pretty much like the lower wick for a weak 4 hour candle. So if we can, you know, we have this 4 hour candle closing in 23 minutes. So this 4 hour candle closes weak bearish, just gonna confirm, you know, the bullish momentum to be carrying. Yeah, so I definitely like buys at this point for GJ. Sells for gold, this should definitely play out too, I think. It should definitely respect the previous 30-minute candle's high. Yeah, definitely with this 15-minute setup too. Safe target, you know, 160 or 1662.55, safe target. And then, you know, continuing to fill the range. GJ creating a nice support. Yes, exactly. Yeah, so this is like that MP special, honestly. The MP special, high created, form a resistance, come down, create a level of support, go retest the highs. It's my favorite move to execute on. I also love this pattern too. I love this pattern. And counter trend trades, you know, the probability is a little bit lower, but on, you know, when you're trading with the trend, you know, an impulse entry as the low is broken here, beautiful entry, and you know, stops would have been, you know, 23 pips. That would have been amazing. You know, first target would be 53 pips or so. And then continuing down for, what's that, 120 pips or so. So yeah, this gold move should definitely play out here. The bears are screaming here on gold. Yeah, I really wanted to execute on this, but I already took my trade. No point in over trading. Yep, and this is really looking good too. This New York volume. I'm in sells gold. Amazing, man, amazing. Yeah, just have a target in mind. You know, secure some partials. Put your stops at entry. You know, a risk-free trade is the best type of trade. So if you're in blue, it's on you. And you should be in blue at this point if you took a valid entry. TP at 1660, amazing. I like it. Yeah, you might just want to be a little cautious of this area here. You know, it's a weak area, weak zone. But, you know, still could cause some trouble for you. It could cause some rejection for you. And being that this is a counter trend move, you know, you want to be as cautious as possible. Entry at 1665, amazing. Yeah, so probably as the lows were broken here, perfect. Beautiful. BXL, great job. Great job. That is a lovely sell, and it should play out for you perfectly. But you can't be ignorant to an exit plan, so make sure you have an exit plan. I'm not in this, by the way. Not in this, just putting this up here as a paper trade. Yeah, that gold should definitely play out. This GJ should also play out. I'm gonna mark this one up here too, just as a paper trade as well, because this move should also play out. It should come through this area. It should come through that area, because we have the bullish momentum here. Secured plus 20 pips above spread. Amazing. BXL, congrats, man. Congrats. That's amazing. That's amazing. 1, 2, 3, 4. Dang, this would have been a good stop loss here on GJ too. 21 pips, that's not bad for 34 pip gain. That's not bad. Gold right here, this is definitely gonna push, man. This thing is driving. We got 15-minute candle close coming up. We're coming close to this area, so potentially some rejection here. But I mean, at this point, I mean, if you're in the gold trade, you should definitely have stops at entry. Yeah, you know, you should be up 19, 20 pips or so, or you should have had a move that got you up that high. So yeah, you should definitely have stop set entry at that point. Secure some if you want. GJ, same type of thing. I would have stop set entry at this point. Stop set entry at this point, let it do its thing and see what happens. You can only get what the market will give you. From there ain't a damn thing you can do. There ain't a damn thing you can do. What the hell? Yeah, so GJ probably would have stopped you at entry at this point if you were in this retrace. Trying to figure out these exact colors. I'm OCD about this shit. But I don't know which one it is. Have you heard about inner and outer trend lines? No, I'm not too sure what that is. Not too sure what that is. I don't know about you guys, but that doesn't look like the same color to me. Honestly, I don't give a shit at this point. It's when price starts to move faster than the current trend, automatically it has to retrace to normal speed of the trend. This works great on the 4-hour and daily. Gotcha. Still not sure if it makes sense to me, but it sounds good. I'm a simple person. Gotta keep things as simple as possible to understand. I still think GJ should continue bullish from here, but it's really going to come down to if this candle closes bullish. But I really think like this candle should close bullish. Like we respected the candle's low here, we respected the candle's high, then we respected the low here, and we broke the high. And we also broke the high on the hourly. Whoops, wrong chart. We also broke the high on the hourly and respected the hourly's low. 4-hour looks like the wick. Boom. Me too, but it's better to have more confluences. For sure, absolutely. BXL. I just try to only use confluences that I understand. Marina, did we pass the area? We were concerned on gold. Right here. So we would want to see 15-minute candle close below this area. We want to see candle close below this area, inside of it or below that area, I think will be good. But being the fact that candle did not create a top wick here and we're now rejecting this area, you know, it could flip bullish. The 15-minute could flip bullish here. Do I think it's gonna flip bullish? No, I don't, but it could. Clean hourly candle here. So if we can get some closure here, you know, in 15-minute area, 30-minute area in the next 7 minutes, I think we're going to have a high probability to continue the downward move on gold here. GJ is flipping. I'm very surprised to see that. Very surprised to see that. Hey, thank you for the new subscribers. Thank you. It's not telling me who you are for some reason, but just know I see the numbers increasing and I appreciate you. Yeah, this gold move would have been really nice here to catch. Yeah, see, looking at this, if I would have waited for this candle to close we would have had a 15-minute bearish candle close, then a 15-minute bullish candle close. I would have waited. I wouldn't have entered on the candle when this candle broke the previous 15-minute bearish candle's high, because I like to wait for confirmation on 15-minute that it's actually the real deal. So I would have waited for this 15-minute candle bullish close, and then at this point the range is like not big enough. It's like 19 pips. You know, as you guys know, I want to trade ranges that are 20 pips at least. I really like ranges that are 30 plus pips. So I probably would have not have entered this trade. Actually, no, I probably would have, because I would have anticipated the volume to break this area. But basically what I'm trying to figure out here is how could I have positioned myself to execute on this sell, because this sell is the move that I should have executed on. Like, this should have been my one trade, but to get in this trade, I would have had to have been, I would have had to have missed this trade, you know. So basically what I'm seeing is there anything that I missed that would have kept me out of this trade, so I would have, you know, been in a position to catch this trade? Because this is the move right here. That's the move I would have wanted to catch. Oh yeah, for sure. For sure, that's the move I would have wanted to catch. So yeah, I mean, I think in hindsight, you know, I should have probably waited for the 30-minute candle to close. The biggest thing is, you know, I was anticipating this to continue to push because of volume time, bullish momentum, etc., etc. So I do think it's the best possible trade I could have taken. Like, you know, 80% of the time that move is going to play out. But it just wasn't in my favor today. So if I would have waited for this to close, you know, the next 30-minute candle would have broken the high. This also would have been a weak support formed, not a strong support. And we know that when weak supports are formed in bullish trends, and it's about a 50-50 chance that the support is going to be respected or not. And in this case, it wasn't respected. Oh, cool. My guy here caught gold in Telegram. Nice trade you got going. Do you think price will correct the whole bullish move to the left? Well, thinking isn't really a trading strategy, but at this point, you know, if we get a bearish close below, you know, this area 1662, 448, you know, I definitely think that we can come down to 1658, 73, and then ultimately down to 1655, 70. But at this point, we just have to see how candles are printing, where they're going to continue to go. And I mean, at this point, like, they're really pushing to the downside here. So the bearish move is seeming very, very, very compelling. So to answer your question in short, yes, I do think that it's going to correct the entire bullish move, but at the same time, you know, we have to confirm that thought with how candles are printing. So if this candle closes with a rejection above this zone, above 1662.47, then the probability for the move to continue bearish starts to limit itself. So we'll see in about 57 seconds. But at this point, candles are making lower highs and lower lows. I mean, it's clearly has a lot of bearish momentum at this point. Strong 1 hour candle, 4 hour candle closing bearish. However, it did break the high and it respected the low. Yeah, so I really think that these are so far like the best trade ideas that I've seen. Although, you know, sells would have been valid on GJ here a couple of times. Just did some crazy wick stuff. Yeah, so close with a nice rejection here. So we'll want to see candle respect the previous candle's high here. If it breaks the 15-minute candle high, you definitely want to start prepping for the bearish move to not be valid. But most importantly is the 30-minute candle's high. And based on my paper trade entry here, you know, we would not want price to move back through this area. So stops at entry here. If it gets stopped out at entry, it is what it is. I do think that it should continue bearish, but at the same time we have a new 4-hour candle, so if it's going to continue to move bearish, then we're gonna need a wick up, which would be the pullback to continue bearish. So at this point, 15-minute highs are being broken. You know, I definitely start to take risk off the table if you're still in this position. Stops at entry, and if you get stopped out, it is what it is. You know, you should have definitely secured. I mean, this went 40 pips plus in profit. You should have definitely secured at this point, if not be out of the trade completely. Yeah, 43 pips, 44 pips in profit for sure. Now GJ, based on 30-minute, looks like it's going to continue bullish. However, we did have this rejection here at this 170 273 support zone. So 1 hour strong bullish based on previous 1 hour. You know, the high was broken, the low was respected. 4 hour weak bearish. You know, so we should see some sort of lower wick here, go to break the high. But if the low is broken here on 4 hour, then the buy bias is going to start being invalidated. 15-minute candle with no top wick. We see these get broken a lot of times. So lower wick, go and break the high, continue to fill that move. Yeah, so I think buys on GJ are definitely still valid until the previous candle's wick or the previous candle's low is broken. And 1 hour is probably going to be the best support level for that. Nice trade you got going. Oh yeah, I already talked about that. If this 30-minute candle closed bullish, will this confirm support and anticipate the next candle to move up for gold? Yeah, that could be the overall MP special, the Mike P special that we were talking about, where price goes up, creates a high, comes down, creates a low, and then goes up and retests, you know, 1671 and onward to the session highs at 1673. So yeah, no, I definitely think that would be valid, especially because, you know, the trend is a little bit more bullish bias than anything. Yeah, let's check this out here. So looks like our friend here, oh wow, gold sells all the way from up here. Yeah, so he executed on this idea here that I was talking about, that I was looking at. So basically, you know, he was selling, you know, selling the support here, which is a little risky. I know that it even sounds ridiculous, sell the support, but at the same time, you know, just anticipating that volume is going to drive through this area and it's going to break this to correct the move. So yeah, that was definitely a good entry there. Good entry there. starting to go against both of those. Also, if we revert back to 15-minute, you know, we're rejecting this area on gold. GJ very choppy here. Very choppy. So this GJ trade idea would have been stopped at entry. It only went 15 pips in profit. So based on my personal rules, you know, at 10 pips profit, we're looking at stops at entry. At 20 pips profit, we're looking to secure 90%. And then from there, we're either going to let the runner hit our stop loss at entry, or we're going to let the runner hit or take profit. So this would have been stopped out at entry because we went 15 pips in profit. Auto break even would have been triggered at 10 pips, you know, right around here. Price came back, retraced, and this candle would have been stopped out at entry. Now gold, on the other hand, you know, we would have been looking at stop loss at entry right about this point, you know, 10 pips. We would have secured 90% right about this point. So secured 90% at 20 pips. And then, you know, the runner would either be left to go, you know, the full 92 pips or so, or be stopped at entry. So at this point, you know, if I was in this gold trade, I would still have, you know, 10% open. If I was in this GJ trade, I would have been stopped at entry. So let's go ahead and put this up. Boom. Gold coming back to that entry spot. Yeah, so gold probably would have been stopped at this point. Just wicked the entry spot at this point. So the gold, we'll do trade. Oh, can't type. Trade idea. XAUUSD. Sell. Plus 20 pips. And the risk here was a lot, I think. 48 pips. Yeah, so that's one thing that I always try and look at is, you know, obviously the trades that I do take, you know, like I obviously journal them, but you know, I always look to see like what other trades I could have taken as well. Always look to see what else I could have done, what the best trade for the session was, and so on. Boom, so we got 15-minute candle closing in about 30 seconds. Starting to reject here. Still respected the previous 30-minute candle high. And if it starts to go break the low in the second half of the 30-minute candle, it's a very high probability it's going to continue bearish. And you know, we obviously needed this wick to be created on the 1 hour, you know, 4 hour, even 30 minutes. So as long as the highs are being respected on those higher time frames, I think the position is still valid. GJ just kind of ranging at this point. It's respecting the previous 30-minute low though, respecting previous hourly low. I honestly think it should continue to go bullish from here. Might just need London close to push it though. I don't think there's any more news. Oh yeah, the CAD news, but that's past my time. Tomorrow, Euro news, USD, Euro. Friday, CAD, USD. Getting that nice rejection on gold. Remember how I said though, this area is probably going to cause some trouble on the move down. And that's all trading is just reading the chart and just seeing what has the higher probability of happening in these areas. And honestly, same kind of reason why we're seeing this trouble here on GJ to continue the bullish momentum. Look at all these rejections, look at all these wicks. And look at this range on 15-minute. I mean, this whole area is like a no trade range. It's that gold rejection. That thing looks nice on the 30-minute. Hasn't really created a lower wick yet, so if it can continue to make that move, that push, even if 30-minute closes like weak bullish, we see the next 30-minute candle wick up, go and break the low. This happened. Where did this happen? This just happened recently, so I was looking to execute on it. And this is the flip of it on a bearish move. Yeah, and the 15-minute kind of range is why I had it buys above with a closure. So, based on this, being stopped out at entry, obviously makes sense why probability wasn't really in our favor at this point to continue the move. Kind of same thing that happened here. There's this little zone here that I was like disregarding, and that's where the trouble was created. It's probably something, yeah, it's a little bit more clear on 15-minute. Likes, thank you guys, thank you so much, man, thank you so much. Yeah, that gold's looking real solid, so we're gonna see how this thing closes up. GJ looks like it's gonna give us a little fake out here. It's about to break the low on 30-minute. Yep, there it goes. I mean, if we can get closure below here, I mean, really nice range to fill here for sells. Also, we're at levels that we haven't seen in a very, very, very long time, if we've ever seen them at all. Based on what I could find, we've never seen these levels without having to pay TradingView more money. Actually, I forgot that you can look at it on higher time frames and you can find past zones. Oh yeah, there's some stuff here on daily. I think when I was looking at it in the past, the highest time frame or the lowest time frame I could see it on was 4 hour. Oh damn, we've been way up here before. 174. Holy. 188. Oh my gosh, it goes higher. It's 2015. 194. Wow. Holy, up above 200. This is 08. Damn, this is crazy. You know, I remember when I started seeing like 140s, 150s, and I was like, holy shit, GJ is going to the moon. Yeah, this is insane. 250. Alright, well, it's good to know. It's good to know that price can go high as hell. I'm not gonna lie, I was seeing like price up here in the 170s. I was looking on like 30-minute time frame. I was looking on lower time frames, you know, trying to find the next zones to travel to. I couldn't find anything. I was like, damn, this is crazy. You know, so it really had me like favoring sells because, you know, I was like, price hasn't been above 170. You know, I don't want to trade in foreign land here. But yeah, it looks like GJ is probably gonna continue bearish to fill this range, potentially fill this wick. Five minutes left until candle closes. Yeah, we get this thing closing the way it is, man. It's looking good to continue this move. 30-minute looks really good. 1 hour looks really good. 4 hour looks really good. Daily with a strong rejection at this point, rejecting this resistance up here. Yeah, I like it. Yeah, GJ giving a nice close to a nice strong close below 170.055. I think would be really good. This is essentially just a little break and retest right here. You know, we had this zone right here. Support right here. Weak support was broken. Price came down, just wicked around. You know, tried to break above, close below. Now it's breaking below, and it's got this clean ass range to fill. Looks amazing. Looks amazing for another over trade, paper trade. Had one live trade, gold buys minus 8.2 pips. We had this gold sell idea plus 20 pips before it got stopped at entry, and then we have this GJ buy idea at the break of the high right here that was stopped at entry without securing. And at this point we see closure below here. I think it's going to continue to fall. I've also seen this candle pattern play out a bunch of times too, where candles are really weak bearish. We have a strong bullish candle close, but the high is respected and the low is broken, and it continues to move. Also, if this 15-minute candle can close below this zone, I think gold sells are going to look really good to continue bearish. But if it doesn't, we need to see the 30-minute candle to respect this candle's high and break this candle's low. So let's see how these candles close, because that 30-minute candle still looks really good to continue bearish. So does the 1 hour. I mean, obviously the 30-minute candle is closing, but it looks good to wick up, respect the high right here, and break the low and continue to fill this range. GJ definitely looks good for sells. Definitely looks good for sells. Looks amazing for sells, but we need a wick. We need a wick. If there's no wick, no sells. Nice wick too, and a bullshit. Oh yeah, gold. So gold right here, wick up, respect this candle's high, go and break the low. Looks really good for sells. GJ, wick up, respect this candle's high, break the low. Looks really good for sells. I want to leave that there just because of that paper trade idea, but I want to get out of the way because as the candle breaks the low here, if I hadn't already taken a trade, I would take a sell here. I would take a sell here. God damn, I think that. The fuck is this? And then same thing on gold, really. Once the low's broken on that 30-minute, I would take a sell for sure. Stop loss for GJ would be like 25 pips or so. And once price went, 50% plus in drawdown, I'd probably close like 90% of the trade to reduce risk as much as possible. Another way of looking at it is if price breaks the previous 15-minute high, close 50%. Because as we often know, if price breaks the low and the first couple of minutes in the candle and then goes and breaks its high, it has a high probability to go against you. But being where candle close, I think it should continue bearish here 100%. Fill this range. And then, like I said, gold here too. Wick up, respect this candle's high, break the low to continue. But this thing's pushing up pretty hard here after it's already broken the lows, so that might get a little dangerous. But that's overall what I see here today. It's 9:32 a.m. Eastern time. We had one live trade taken, gold buys up here based on the MP special plan out. And that was an 8.2 pip loss after managing risk. Then we had another gold sell idea. This wasn't something that I actively traded, just a sell idea as price broke below and closed below this zone to continue bearish down here. You know, this would have at least secured 20 pips, risk overall 48 pips, a little bit large, but if you're just risking 1%, it's all relevant, so it's not a big deal, so it's all relevant. Then the other trade ideas that we had here was GJ buys. This, you know, broke up, retraced at the point where we would have had stops at entry, so would have been stopped out at entry there. Overall risk 21 pips. And then this buy or this sell idea on GJ that would have been activated as the lows were broken, stops about 25.9 pips. Starting to go against it pretty hard, but as the highs are broken here, that's going to be definitely over 50% in drawdown, so I would close 90% of the position if I was in this, and you know, look for the 30-minute candle high to be respected, and you know, continue bearish from there. In hindsight though, the hourly candle is bullish, the low has been respected, so definitely a risky sell at this point. But yeah, so that's kind of what we had in the books for today. Overall, really good session. As always, learned a lot. As always, executed and came out of the markets with a good trade. So, and some good ideas. So, if you guys can, don't forget to pay the fee. Make sure you like the stream. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. And we'll be live for another New York session tomorrow. Adios, everybody. Have an amazing Wednesday. Have an amazing